You're listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and I've been helping people tune into what lights them up and increase their personal and professional performance for over a decade. Now I'm best known as a high-performance coach, helping entrepreneurs like you cut through the noise and create a business and life on your terms. If you're ready to step out of struggle and discover how simple it can be to create a fulfilling, joyful, and successful business without all the overwhelm and long hours, you're in the right place.
Hey gorgeous. Right, today I've done a lot of long episodes, some amazing interviews, which thank you so much for your feedback. I really do genuinely love hearing from you on Instagram, or if you leave a review. I do love hearing back feedback from the episodes, and I know you've really liked them. But equally, I do know that many of you love the short to the point episodes. So that is exactly what I'm going to give for you today. And it's all about owning what you want. Because as the title of this podcast alludes to, when I speak to clients about what they're trying to manifest, they've done all the courses, they've read these books, on law of attraction and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, I'm trying to manifest this, or I'm going to manifest this. And I say, okay, well, what is it you want? That's my big thing. I help people get what they want. So I'm like, right, what do you want? And they'll say to me, I want to bring in £100,000 because, and then they give me this long reason of why they want to bring in £100,000. I'm like, okay, great. And then I'll say, what else? I want to buy a new house because blah, 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 blah. The because is actually, all they're saying there is, this is what I want, but here is all the justifications of why I should have it, why I'm deserving of it. Because deep down, they're judging the heck out of themselves for wanting what they want. Now, this is going to block everything that you want. If you're saying you want something, but deep down you're like, oh, I don't really actually feel like I'm deserving of this. And by the way, you might not be consciously aware that this is the case. Okay, many of us aren't. I had a rude awakening towards the end of last year on the realization that I was doing exactly this thing, which is why I can now share it with you, because I've seen the power of what happens when you remove these blocks or these thought processes. When you are saying to the universe, hey, I want, I'm just going to use the 100,000 because there's still so many people that seem to think that's the holy grail. So let's just say it was the 100,000 that you want to create in your business. I really want that. But then they go on, because then I could help more people and I'll have more impact, and I can, help my family and pay off part of my parents' mortgage, or blah, 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with just wanting something because you want it. I'm going to repeat that. You can want what you want simply because you want it. This was something I could not get my head around, honestly, because we have got so many layers, so many decades for many of us of conditioning and bullshit stories and beliefs. And I mean, if you believe it as well, it's entirely up to your belief system, but energetically from previous lives, from the collective, we have so much crap stuck in our energetic field, stuck within us, that tells us it's not okay to want what we want, especially as women. And this is absolutely relevant for men as well, but especially as women, we have got so much collective nonsense still ingrained in us that we cannot have what we want, and that we must not own what we want. And when I say own it, I mean be 100% confident in yourself and say, yeah, this is what I want and I'm not ashamed of it. This is what I want and I want it because I want it. Okay? You don't need to justify what you want, and you must stop judging yourself for what you want. Because the minute you start judging, that's when you come up with this long list of justifications for what you want. And it's simply okay to just have that desire and own it. And as I said, this is something I did not realize. I learned this, or I just discovered this a very painful way towards the end of 2020. And many of you will know, if you've been following me for a long time, I've had a lot of changes going on in my world. Moving house, divorce, changing up my business. I recently closed my membership, which I'm going to do a another episode on, because I want to explain to you about how you go forward and choose whether you do a membership or a course or all that kind of stuff, because I've learned some really valuable lessons in the past 4 years of having a membership. So that episode is on its way. But it's been a crazy ass 12 months, I'll be honest. And, by the way, the global pandemic, that didn't exactly help things. So it's been a bit bonkers. But there were so many things that I knew I wanted, and they just weren't manifesting. And so many of the things I wanted, I thought were wrong, or I was trying to justify why I wanted them. And, money was definitely one of them. There were definitely some blocks around, I hate that term, blocks. It's that and limiting beliefs drives me a bit crazy. But there was resistance. There was resistance to me fully owning what I want. And this can show up as well in terms of who you talk to about what you want. For the longest time, I would never really talk about the money I want to make in my business, or the goals I have, or the ambitions I have, or the things that are going on in my life, or what I want in my personal life, because I was like, I don't know whether people are really going to get that. When I say people, friends that aren't in the entrepreneurial space, because us entrepreneur or business owners, we're all a bit wacky. We're all slightly different. This isn't the easy, well-trodden path that we choose to go down. We choose it because I think we have a screw loose sometimes. So we choose it because we want something a bit different. We want to create our own lives. And when you have lots of friends that haven't gone down that path and don't necessarily understand why you'd be that crazy, I used to not feel very comfortable talking about the kind of money that I want to make, because I knew that they weren't making that kind of money. And I didn't want to talk about the things I wanted to create in my future, in my life, things I wanted to do for my children, because it's not normal. And I'm putting those in, inverted commas. It's not the normal thing that everyone does. It's not the normal life that people necessarily aspire to. I want very, very different things, and I bet you do too. And this is the thing, this is the great thing, success and wants and desires, they're different for everybody. What I want for my life is probably very different to what you want for your life. And that's the great, beautiful thing about, being in business and having this awareness that you can create whatever you want. But you are only going to be able to do that if you stop justifying it, my darling, and stop beating yourself up for what you want. And you know what? This goes both ways. I was just thinking this earlier today, actually, that there's so much noise online, in the online space, that you need to be aiming for. You're not aiming high enough if you're not going, you're not aiming for a 7-figure business, or you're not aiming high enough if you don't want a 5-bedroom house, or if you don't want a Lamborghini, or blah 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 blah, whatever other BS is out there. Simple fact is, I don't buy into that at all. If what you truly desire and what would make you so happy is, I don't know, a two-bedroom house somewhere in the Cotswolds, where you can just work nicely and bring in a lovely little income of about 75,000 and tick over quite nicely, and that would make you really, really happy, then that's great. Own it. That might be amazing for you. The idea of living in the countryside, not really seeing many people sometimes, and just having that nice quiet life, that might genuinely light up your soul. In which case, own it, go for it, decide you want it, and allow it to come to you. Because you don't have to want a big team in your business. You don't have to want a multiple 7-figure empire. Okay, that doesn't have to be what you want. You don't have to follow what everyone else is saying. So it really is about you owning what you want, and also accept that it's going to change. What I wanted several years ago is completely different to what I want now. And to be honest, I'm going through such a rapid up-leveling, and that will be coming in another podcast episode soon as well, that honestly what I want is changing on a monthly basis. It's just up-leveling every time. As much as I keep up-leveling in my own personal development and the training that I'm doing, I'm seeing my desires and my wants change as well. They're getting bigger, bolder and brighter, and it's really, really exciting. But 6 months ago, I would never have even dreamed of owning what I want. Like really standing proud and going, yep, that's what I want, and I want it because I want it. And I don't care who I talk to about this now, whether it be my family, who I think for many of us, that's almost the hardest one to sort of talk to, isn't it? Especially if maybe you're the first person to create any sort of wealth in your family, or maybe you're the first person to step out there and do the whole self-employed thing, or create a company, it can be very difficult. The people closest to you, the people that love you the most, can sometimes be the hardest ones for us to be 100% open and honest with. But it's actually, I'm very, very happy and very confident and really don't care what they think about what I want anymore. So when you get to that level of really owning everything you want, the justification and the judgment just melts away. It truly melts away. Now, how did I get to this point? I got to this point through energetic clearing, which I'm not going to go into in this podcast episode, but it is something that I will be qualified in very, very shortly, so that I can help more and more of my clients clear away this crap and really own what they want and up level much, much quicker. And that's what's worked for me. But if you're listening to this and thinking, well, actually, what do I do? What's the tangible action? What I want you to do is revisit your desires, revisit what it is you want, whether that be your 90-day goals, whether it be what you want in the next 10 years, I don't mind, whatever it is that you want, that clear vision of like, oh my gosh, that is what I want. Then I want you to be aware of what else comes up. Are you telling yourself that you want X because of Y? Is there something that comes after because? Are you wanting a multiple six-figure business so that you can share on social media that you have a multiple six-figure business, so that you can finally feel validated, so that you can help your family financially, so that what else is coming after? When you think about what you desire, what you want, what is coming after that? Is it a justification or is there a judgment? Now, the judgments can look, and I've definitely had this in the things that I want in my personal life for sure, is, can I do that? Is that the right thing to do? Am I a good person if I want that? Honestly, the amount of crap that we have come up when we think about what we want and what we desire is unbelievable. So what I want you to do to make sure that you're really clear on whether you are fully owning what you want or whether actually you're just dipping the toe in the water of like, I kind of want this, but I'm a bit scared and I feel like I need to justify it. Think about what you want, all those things you've written out, all those goals, those visions that you have, and think to yourself, am I justifying why I want this? And am I judging why I want this? Now, once you've done that, you can dig a little bit deeper and you can think, well, why am I judging this? So again, I'm just using money for the easy example. Are you feeling guilty about the fact that you want to be a millionaire? Are you feeling guilty about the fact that you want to be able to live mortgage-free by the time you're 35? Whatever it might be, what's underneath those beliefs? What's underneath the justifications? What's underneath the judgments? Dig into that a little bit deeper, because once you are aware of it, you can decide to let it go. Now, we all know saying to let it go can be easier said than done. And if you want to work on this energetically, by the time this podcast episodes come out, I will absolutely be doing that with many of my clients. So if you want to do that energetically, send me a DM, go to my website, find me, I'm everywhere. You can find me on Instagram most of the time anyway, so you can send me a DM. We can discuss about how we might shift these things energetically for you. But if you're not open to that kind of work, what you can do is just start journaling it out. Write out all the layers, like why are you justifying this? Why is it that you are not owning what you want? Just ask yourself the question and allow your subconscious to give you the answer, because you have the answers within you. We always do, okay? We always have the answers within us. So what is coming up? Is it a conversation you've heard? Is it a belief you've got? Is it a feeling? Be really aware of what's going on in your body when you do this work. Do you have that kind of knot in your stomach when you think about the amount of money you want to make? And again, I'm just using money because it's the simplest one to use as an example, but what happens in your body when you think about what you want? Okay, it's such a good, everything is connected. We are all energy. What's going on in our minds is within our bodies as well. Our bodies are incredible. How do I word it? Almost like a map of exactly what's going on. Be very aware when things trigger you, where you feel that in your body, because there's something you can shift. If you know how to use EFT, you can absolutely tap on this and tap it out. If you've never heard of EFT, give it a Google. It's amazing. Otherwise, you can message me as well, because that is something I do. So have a little think, really journal on it, go that little bit deeper. And to let it go, again, if you don't want to do the energy work, try writing a letter. Write a letter to say you're letting this go. You no longer want to hold on to these beliefs. They are no longer part of you. It is no longer serving you, and you are grateful for it to be there. Because it's, remember, all these beliefs are held, and our subconscious is only doing its job to try and protect us. Okay, so these aren't beliefs that are trying to sabotage us. They will sabotage us, but they're not trying to. They're just trying to keep us safe and in our little zone of comfort, okay? So thank it for being there. Thank the awareness. Write a letter. Say, I'm no longer holding on to you. I release you. I want what I want. I own the fact that I want what I want purely because I desire it. And then burn the letter. If you can't burn it safely, you can put it into water. You can tear it up into little bits. But my favourite is to burn it, I have to say. So even if you just shove it on the barbecue, if you don't have a fire at home, burn the letter, let it go. And just be aware every time you state what you want, whether that be in your journal, on your vision board, however you do it, to friends, be aware of any of those old justifications coming back up, and just say, thank you, but I'm not listening to you anymore. It's not happening. I want what I want because I want it. Because you deserve everything that you want. Truly you do. And whatever is going through your mind right now, like, oh yeah, but I want this, that's okay. All right, what you want and what you desire, it is what it is. But if you don't fully own it, it's not going to happen. And you need to clear away all these justifications and judgments on yourself to get what you want. Because remember, we are manifesting magnets all the time, whether we like it or not. I've manifested all kinds of dramas in the last few weeks. And, you know, it's really funny when you do this work, when you're super aware, and I know so many of you are, is you look at it and you go, oh God, yeah, that's that belief, that's come back up, or oh yeah, here we go again. And, you know, sometimes we just need to keep clearing the same sort of thing. It just manifests in a different way. So, you know, I'm not immune to things going a little bit awry. We always have challenges. We will always have things come up, but we can clear them. It doesn't have to be something that drags on for years and years and years. Okay, so that is my little message for you today. You can block manifesting what you want by not truly owning what you want, and that is one of the biggest mistakes I see. People saying what they want but not fully either believing that it's possible, or they're giving justifications for it because they're judging themselves for what they want. So beautiful. I want you to own it. I want you to own what you want. Be fully in your power. Claim what you want. Say it without any fear. Fully own it. And if you feel like, oh, there's still something there, if you want to discuss the energy clearing that I've been doing for my clients, that I've had done for myself, that I do for myself as well, which honestly, it's changing my life on a weekly basis at the moment, do message me on Instagram. Or you can find me at Heather Angel Coaching everywhere, or you can go to my website, heatherangel.co.uk, and get in touch, and we can certainly have a chat to see if it would be suitable for you. So, that feels good. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, what you want is already on its way, and it wants you too. Okay, remember that. What you want is yours. Own it. Go out there and get it. And I'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. If you'd like to continue the conversation or have a question that you would like answered in an upcoming episode, head over to Instagram and connect with me at Heather Angel Coaching. If you enjoy this podcast, please share your thoughts in a review on iTunes. I truly value your feedback, and I take the time to read every single review. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next episode.